What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good today, man. We got a sister, man, who has gone viral for pretty much getting upset, right? She's getting upset because she was walking to a gas station or walking down the road or wherever, right? And she said she had a group of hood dudes ask her her age, right? Ask her her age. Now, granted, I mean, how old did those quote unquote hood dudes look? Right? I mean, if they look young, then I mean, hey, why? I mean, maybe they're just inquiring, right? Maybe they are just inquiring. Maybe these hood dudes are some super duper old heads. So of course it's just innate. I'm gonna ask how old you are. If I'm an old head and I see that you're younger than me, I'm gonna ask, well, how old are you? But only in America do we have women, right? Only in America do we have a society who gets upset with men for pointing out weight issues, for pointing out weight in general. They get upset with men for asking a woman's weight, for asking a woman's age. But once again, look how hypocritical society of women can be. We sit up here and we tell men all day, every day, you cannot ask for age and weight, but then turn around and say, hey, well, you know what? This man can't be taller than me. You know what? Hey, this man can't be shorter than me. If you're 5'5", I can't even deal with you, right? As a woman, I cannot deal with a 5'5" man. But hey, guess what? I can't ask for your age and weight though, right? I can't even ask for your weight. I can't even consider your weight to be in my standards, right? If you're overweight and you're obese or whatever, it doesn't matter. That shouldn't even be a part of my standards. Personality or whatever should be a part of my standards. It's mighty crazy. It's very hypocritical. My height can be an issue for you, right? But your weight can be an issue for me. Doesn't make any sense. Also, it's very hypocritical to sit over here and expect men to know a woman's age, but then turn around and get upset when a man asks for a woman's age. So for example, we have to sit over here and we have to differentiate. We can go to a club. We can go to a 21-year-old and up club. A 21-year and older club. That's our safe space, right? That's anybody who is of age safe space. Somehow, some way, a woman can come in there who is underage, find her way in there with a fake ID card or whatever. And guess what? We still can't ask that. We still can't even ask the age, right? We still can't even ask the age. And even if we do, we're going to get gaslit into believing that, hey, well, you know what, you're a misogynist or you're a sexist for even asking me that. So guess what? The man says, you know what, you're right, put my guard down. Or the girl's going to come up with a lie just to then sit over here, go do with the damn girl. Next thing you know, you're sitting over here in court because you're saying, well, she told me different, right? She told me she was this age. She told me that she was that age. A lot of women look older than, a lot of girls nowadays look way older than they are supposed to. Women will get upset with you, right? As a man, you're just innately, you're walking down the street, you see a beautiful chick with some booty or whatever. You're like, oh my goodness, like, damn, right? Because it happens all the time. You're like, damn. And guess where a girl comes out of, and guess what? A woman come out of nowhere. Why are you sexualizing her? She's this age, she's that age. Well, I didn't know. Well, you should have known. But then turn around and you ask her her age. Why are you asking me my age? Like, that's disrespectful. That's rude. It's always something. It is always something. Like, we literally can go to jail for being lied to an underage girl who said that, hey, she was certain age. She was 25, 26, 27, sitting in an adult bar, right? So, of course, I'm going to go off the word. It's sad, right? It's sad because, once again, this is what we accept in a society where men have to sit over here and know and don't know, right? If they don't know, they need to know. If they do know, they shouldn't know, right? It's just sad. It's just sad, man. But let's go ahead and look at this video.
I'm at the gas station, right? It's a bunch of hood niggas standing. One on time about, man, I will talk to her, but I don't know how old she is. Nigga, that ain't the only motherfucking thing you should be worried about. Yeah, nigga. Okay.
I mean, would you say that to a group of men who are trying to holler at your daughter? Right? Or would you say that to a group of men that's trying to holler at your daughter? Well, you don't need to be worried about her age. That's the last thing you need to be worried about. Dude, I mean, like, bro, I mean, they're going to try to holler at you. Regardless, they're going to try to holler at you. And granted, maybe she's saying that, hey, you're trying to ask me my age, like, and she's saying maybe that's the last thing you should be worrying about. maybe that's the last thing you should be worrying about, given that you're outside of this gas station that I'm shopping at too, but you're hanging outside this gas station like a Pookie and Ray Ray. Like, I mean, come on, man. And then you could look at the picture of her and you can tell you're obviously the type that these hood guys are attracted to. You're obviously the type that these hood guys are attracted to. I mean, just look at you. You just embody your stereotypical sister. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about that. But what's even funnier is that I came across this video on YouTube, all right, where you can see the contradiction. You can see the hypocrisy, right? Once again, you can't ask a woman her age or her weight, but a woman can tell you, hey, well, look, you need to be of a certain height if you think I'm gonna mess with you. Age, why are you asking me my age? You just need a guessing. You just better make sure you guess right, because guess what? If you guess wrong, I'm not gonna tell you. But the judge will. The judge will tell you, even though they know that I'm in the wrong. They know I shouldn't even be in that club. Like, I mean, how is it that I can go as a man, go to a club, show my ID, they see that I'm old, they see that I'm qualified to get in, everything. I have all my credentials. Then you have a young girl who is not of age, still go to the same club. Somehow, somewhere have a fake ID card, get in there, have sex. Now I'm hemmed up. How is that even possible? And the girl never gets a charge. Women will never get a charge. That's just impossible. But once again, this is the hypocrisy that we have within our society amongst our women. So, of course, when you look at this guy, breaks this woman down, he asks a good question, right? The question is a man's height equivalent to a woman's weight? Right? Of course, her response is expected. These women think they can come up with they got all the answers in the world. They can come over here and say some of the most craziest of things that supposed to sound good, just to then turn around, and when you sit over here, you end up asking them something that contradicts their question, right? That you have to answer. They can't come up with anything. And it'd be some of the most simplest of questions that it's like, why can't you answer that? Because your ideology, whatever you're thinking, is just based off of women and how they feel, right? So then when he end up asking a question that's going to, like, once again, that contradicts what you're asking or what you're saying, you're going to be like, oh, well, dang, now it's going to have you thinking. And what do? They always sit over here and try to come up with something to pretty much overcompensate for the BS. It's common. This happens every day. Let's look at the video.
All right, so let me ask you this. What's more offensive, when a man asks you your body count, your weight, or your age?
I don't think asking somebody what their body count or their age is really disrespectful, as long as you do it in a respectful manner. But I think the weight is crazy.
That's disrespectful.
I feel like to a certain extent, like, does that really matter? Like, if you're attracted to me, you're attracted to me because you are. You don't need to know that number, you know?
Okay.
Like,
oh shit, how much you weigh?
That's not attractive. That's not attractive.
All right, so is a woman's weight equivalent to a man's height?
Wow, that's an interesting question. You got me. Honestly, damn, you got me stuck. I'm gonna say, he said, is a woman's weight equivalent to a man's height? Honestly, I'm gonna say no. You know why?
Tell me.
Because nowadays, like, as you grow, I feel like it's all about personality.
Once again, these women come up with the same stuff every single time, right? When you sit over here and hit them with a question where it's like, okay, well, what about y'all then? Right? Well, let's go ahead and just apply this thing to y'all. Oh, well, what? See, that's not the same, right? That's not the same. You're right. It's not the same. A man can't help his height, but a woman can help her weight, right? You can get up and say, hey, well, you know what? I want to go ahead and make a life change. I want to go ahead and go from 370,000 pounds to go ahead and try to knock it down to 200 pounds. But a man can't just wake up and say, well, you know what? I'm 5'5". I feel like, man, going ahead and being 7 foot today. Right, so let me go ahead and just put on my extra large kneecaps so I can go ahead, man, and look good. So I can go ahead and look like I'm, Matambe or whatever, Matumbo, who doesn't make any sense. It will always contradict. So let's go ahead and read those comments of this video that we just saw. Where the woman sat over here and just pretty much contradicted herself. Where she's saying the weight shouldn't, like, why is the weight even an issue? But then when he asks the question, right? When he asks the question, well, is weight and height equivalent for men and women? You sit over here and you, oh, dang, because you understand how important a man's height is to a woman, even for you, innately, you know that. So once again, this is where she starts to say, okay, well, let me go ahead and try to figure out, man, how I can get myself out of this. Once again, man, this is what a lot of women like to do. This is a tactic a lot of women like to do to overcompensate, or to pretty much try to get themselves out of a little situation they got themselves into. So someone says, man short-circuited her. Someone says, I've been told asking a woman what her age is disrespectful. I figure it wasn't. Good question. Somebody says, you can change your weight a lot easier than a guy can change their height. They can change their weight in general. A guy can't change his height unless if you go here and put on some prosthetic legs or put on some extra large kneecaps. But even then, guys, even then, look at what Batman Kevo did. He sat over here, got all this plastic surgery, and guess what, right? On his abs, and guess what? People are saying, bro, you took the shortcut, bro. You're this, you're that. He received a lot of backlash just off the strength of that from men and women. When men sit over here getting hair transplants, right? Sitting over here putting these weaves or whatever, putting stuff all in the head, guess what? People get on them. Women and men, because it's just not something that you're supposed to do. It's not natural. You sit over here and go put on some kneecaps. Guess what? Everybody's going to hold you accountable. Everybody's going to say, well, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, bro, you were that insecure about your height that you had to go in and go put in some fake kneecaps? Like, I mean, bro, but hey, guess what? You can't say that to women because, hey, guess what? They'll sit over here and put on some nails, put on some raptor claws, put on some eyelashes, put on some weave or horsehair, put on some, I mean, the list goes on. End up getting some lip injections, get some butt injections, get some tummy tucks, get titty injections, and then we'll still jump on the internet and tell you to love yourself. So somebody else says you can change your weight a lot easier than a guy can change their height. Somebody else says, why is weight crazy? Out of all of the three, it's the one you can control, right? And you can definitely control body count too. Someone else says you can see height too. And if you're into the guy or you're into him, that number shouldn't matter. Somebody else says, it's not equivalent because a person can change their height or change their weight, but people cannot change their height without useless surgical procedures. Somebody else says double standard time. And then last but not least, somebody else says definitely not equivalent, as you can see, or as you can do something about your weight, but not your height. Now, these comments are kind of crazy. But somebody says, laugh my A off. That's a man. Why you think she looked down and started laughing? Somebody says it's a boy. Somebody says, is you a man? Somebody says, what's her IG page? Somebody else says, Alonzo looked good, and I love his confidence. Somebody else says, let me see your birth certificate. Somebody says, that's not a woman, it's a man. That's why he said what he said. Now delete this foolishness, please. Somebody says, yeah, if you in ATL. Somebody else says, he should be worried about if that's a man. So now, I mean, hey, y'all heard it here, right? Y'all heard it here, man. Plenty of guys. A lot of people are saying, hey, man, listen, you a man, right? You a man, right? What you sitting over here jumping on the internet for backfired in the most egregious of ways, right? So, I mean, hey, and once again, this is what happens, right? Now, I don't know if that's a woman or a man. It looks like a woman to me, hey, this is a society that we're living in where you don't know what's real and what's fake, right? But once again, my point still stands that you can never ask a woman her age. You can never ask a woman her weight. And this is what we have to deal with every single day. And it's contradicting, right? It's very contradicting because once again, a woman can sit over here. You can sit over here and look at a woman and be like, dang, she's beautiful. Somebody's going to say you're sexualizing, right? Well, I got eyes. If she's beautiful, that's somebody that I want to approach. I got it. In order for me to even want to be attracted to her, or in order for me to even want to talk to her, I got to be attracted to her. Meaning that in order for me to be attracted to her, I have to see her, right? I have to see her. Most of the time, if not all of the time, you have to see the person so you can really be attracted to them, so you know what you're dealing with. But hey, that's me though, right? But once again, everything they always contradict. They always contradict, and it proves every single time. So do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe, man. And guys, y'all let me know down below, man. How do y'all feel about this, man? How do y'all feel about this? Do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe.